My name is Tom Hawk. I was born in Tipperary. I was born in Tipperary in 1936 on the 28th of August. I was born to a family of 14 and my father and my mother made it 16. We were all poor at that time. At that time we used to go to school in our bare feet during the summertime. Never bothered about shoes or anything like that. Most of the things we used to buy give it was sandals, ordinary sandals. But of course, being a kid, you broke the sandals, so different with that. You'd be tying it up with strings and wire and everything you put your hand in. All the people were like that.
Yeah.
All the people suffered because there was no handouts in them days. There was no dole money. There was no family allowance. And if you had so many kids in the house, you have to feed them. So everyone was trying to get a job here and get a job there to do it. Like when I was young, I was about nine years of age, I used to get jobs with farmers, sowing potatoes and helping to bring in the corn and everything like that,
When would you have left school then?
I went to school, I started school in 1941. I was almost 5 years of age. And I left school a month before my 14th birthday.
So go work, was it?
Go to work, yeah. I went to school. We went into school. The first thing you do is you go into the school and you sit down, you say nothing. And it's the only time you answer is when the teacher answers you. Otherwise you didn't open your mouth. But you sit there then and they'd ask you questions. And if you didn't know the answer, you might be lucky you get away with it. If you didn't, they brought you up and they got your hand to put it out like that. And as you do, your hand, you turn it around just to turn it straight onto the knuckles.
Big metal ruler, wouldn't it?
Well, you get a stick in your knuckles like a store. But the problem is I wouldn't cry or nothing. I used to walk up and I'd be bad, but I wouldn't cry. And of course, that didn't go down well with them either,
So you didn't get the reaction.
She used to sit in, the place we were in the school was like a workhouse sort of a building. There was no paint on the wall or papers on the wall. It was just blocks, brick, old stone. And there used to be a big grandfather's clock on the left-hand side. And all you could hear when it was silent, once it was completely silent, all you could hear is tick, tock, tick, tock. And then we were all this going, ever, never, ever, never. Do that. You hear them all out, just ever, never, ever, never.
And she used to,
she used to sit up, she had a big desk in front of the fire, covering the fire off. She used to sit there. Mrs. Garner her husband was the head teacher of it. She'd done first class, second class and third class. She did. There was no stairs inside the place. You had to go outside and go around up the stairs. We went up to the class up there, was fourth and fifth class. That was up to the headmaster. He was up there and he really gave you the town, like, you know what I mean? It was like going to jail, if you know what I mean. You done anything, you were murdered for it. If you were to be punished, if she want you punished for something, she'd send you up to the head teacher, her husband. And that's when you got it. You gave a slap around the back of the head and everything. You know what I mean? I mean, he didn't care, like. But then again, you see, the government backed him up.
But the parents...
What they're doing was legal. What they're doing. You could do anything they liked you.
Would the parents ever try to stop it?
But there's no good. There was a bloke called Bill Foley. He had his sons going to school at the same time as me. And what happened, one of the sons was laughing at the teacher and he didn't like it and he gave him an awful beating. And he went home and told his father. The father come over and he went straight to school where we were. And he went straight to the head teacher. Oh, he hit him a buff. Even the dog got it. But he hit him and knocked him over. The big blackboard they used to have in the school we did that time. He hit him and of course the fell over. And of course I made an awful bracket when he hit the ground, So the police came and arrested him, the guard. Took him away, he got 6 months for hitting the teacher. In other words, he wasn't allowed to teach the teacher. He wasn't allowed to complain to the teacher. You know what I mean? They had the law. There was no doubt about it. There was nothing you could do about it. So we did the 6th class. It was the best one we did. The teacher was fantastic.
He was a nice man.
He was a nice man. I'd say we had to get him for the days we went to school, we'd all be educated. But the only difference, he was an alcoholic.
Oh.
As I say, some mornings he'd come in and he wouldn't say nothing, and all he'd ever do was roll at you. Because he used to say to us when we were going into 6th class, you're all grown men now, you're no children, you're no children no more. This is why he said, there's a poker there in the corner, he said, and it's all twisted. That may be what I'd be shoved that old young fella's throat from road that way. And he said, see that now, remember that don't make call me, you'll get the poker. You know what I mean? But he was good. Max Sweeney was his name. He had no relation to the teacher and his wife ran a draper shop in the town. He did, you know, but he was a lovely teacher, he was.
He doesn't sound lovely.
No, but he was, well, from what we were getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was the best of the bad lot.
The best of the bad lot, like, you know, never hit us, never beat us, nothing. You know what I mean? The law, there was no doubt about it, there was nothing you could do about it. You know? But what happened was, we were all sitting there one day, it's a funny thing now I'm going to say this. We were all sitting there, and every time we would sit in silence, you don't want to shout, the teacher would shout up and say, shut up, you know what I mean? And we're all thinking, what the hell is shut up, should we say nothing? So what happened was, this day, out of the blue, she hit the rule off the table like that, and off, like, shut up! And of course she didn't realise it, she farted again. And of course we were up in an uproar. We're nearly, you couldn't stop laughing. She didn't realise there was another one on the way, like, you know. Oh, she was ready, but they always had that, you say, hey, what about farter? You know? There were forums in the school, you know, there were the seats, you know, big forum. And you could, between 2 and 3, sat on the desk. And in the middle of the desk was a little inkwell. You know, at that time you would have to use the pen, the nib, you know, on the top. But sometimes you have the one pen, the nib used to break. And you would try to do something with the nib, but it wouldn't hold onto the ink.
So it's run out.
Yeah, and then what happened, the blokes with devilment used to dip the thing into the ink, and throw it like, but have it up the back of your head and everything. You know. But the good old times, school, don't believe it or not, even though it was like what it was like.
Yeah.
You know, I left school a month before my 14th birthday. When I left that, then I got a job in a sawmill, working in a sawmill, and I was getting 14 shillings a week when I was working there. And that's, so it really, when you had a pound, you were doing well, if you know what I mean. I mean, for 10 bob, you could do stay in a bed and breakfast for nearly a week.
Okay.
And that's just about living to 50 cents today.
Yeah.
You know, the money you have today. But everybody looked after one another, if you know what I mean. I mean, we had 2 dogs, we had 3 cats, we had 6 pigeons, I had a crow.
You had a pet crow.
I had a pecking lot. And then we had an ass. You used to come into the kitchen.
A donkey.
For,
you can't call him an ass anymore.
Well, it didn't make an ass of himself anyway. But he came in the donkey and you give him a slice of bread, he was gone out.
Yeah.
You know. But for a big family, we got very well. Believe it or not. But then George started leaving but England. You know, my eldest brother didn't went to England, and then after when my mother brother went to England, and he went to Paddy. Willie was one that was Delty, but he went to England, then Paddy. He went to London then after that, and then I had a sister Margaret, she went to London after that. And then I had a sister, she was a year younger than me, she went to London, and that's how I left at home with a brother and a sister.
How old would you be now?
When now?
18? No, 18?
Oh, I was just going on 18
You're going on
when I went to London. Lovely place to live.
Yeah.
The only difference is that people, when they moved to London at that time, you get a room, there was about 5 in one room. You know what I mean? If people were working at nights, they were getting out of bed, and about the working days were getting into the bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But apart from that, after a while you get the hang of it. But then again, I was called up to the army for national service.
Yeah, because in England, if you lived there, you had to do national service.
Oh, I have to do it. If you don't do it, you have to leave.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, they'll arrest you anyway, take you in. So I went and done the national service. I went to the north of Ireland for 3 months for intensive training to be qualified as a soldier. And then when I was done that, I was sent out to the foreign country, I was sent out to Africa and the Middle East. And I spent over 2 years out there before I came home and retired.
Yeah.
And then that was about 1962. And then I fell in love with your grandmother. And we decided to get married in 1963.
And how long did you know her for when you got married?
Oh, about
2 or 3 years?
About 8 or 9 months.
8 or 9 months? Oh my god. You fell head over heels for her.
Oh, it was whatever happened anyway, that's what happened. Yeah. But what happened was we were working over in London, the English people was treating them very bad as well when it came to the time of the problem in the north of Ireland. You know, where they were talking about everybody you were working to say, hey, Paddy, is that lunchbox? You got a bomb inside and that. You know what I mean? And people got to dislike it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to dislike it. Yeah,
Is that why you moved back?
I moved back eventually, yeah, I did, yeah. But what happened was I moved back, there was houses going here in Shannon, and there was a job going in Frinkas. And if you got a job in Frinkas, you could move into one of the houses here. That's how we came to live here, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I liked it here. There's no doubt about Shannon, lovely place to live. You know, if you're interested and like that, you know. But that's what happened is all.